Beauty.
Are we on? I think so.
I think we're live. Yeah, we're pretty live.
I hope so. Hope not. Hello,
What's
Dom.
up, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
You're starting to sound like Jace now. Don't do that.
Do I?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what he
know.
does
Those
all
are
the
his
time.
lines.
Just say hello. Hello,
What's up,
everyone.
Mike? How we doing today?
Good, bud. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
Back at it.
You're on Monday now, aren't you? Finally.
Yeah. As always, a
Yeah.
little bit behind the
Yeah.
Aussies,
Yeah, just a little bit.
our Australian mates.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Well, you're not actually American, but you're an honorary American, right?
Kind of half. Yeah, I got two passports, but I would consider myself more German than American.
Of
But
course. You look more German
hey,
than
love
American.
the states, and
It's doing us a favor.
yeah.
Oh, it's good. Can you hear me all right? I feel like my...
You're a little bit quieter, but maybe let
Yeah.
me turn up here a little bit. Let's
Just get
maximize the volume here.
That's good, man.
What's up, IG? Hope you're all well.
Morning,
Shoot any
everyone.
questions you have, drop them in. Let me know what you
That's
want to
it.
know.
Yeah, we're going to do some, we'll call it back to basics today. And I've got 5 really simple questions that I want to talk, or that our normal clients, when they're starting off, talk about, that we really want to narrow down on and just ease some of the overwhelm for people out there that are looking to start getting into weight loss and fitness and health and looking after themselves. So if you want to stick around for the next 25 minutes, it'd be really, really cool. As usual, if you do have any questions live, please chuck them in the chat box somewhere and we'll get to them as quick as we can. If we don't and we miss you, send us a DM later on and we'll definitely answer them for you in one way or another. So
Love it.
yeah, let's get stuck into it. Okay, where do I start if I want to lose weight but feel really overwhelmed? Right. Well, for me, having a question like that ready to go means you're ready to start. The hardest part is having the courage to put your hand up and ask for help. That's what I think is the hardest part with
Yeah.
weight loss or getting into shape or anything like that. Most of us are at our worst when we're overweight. We're depressed generally. We feel like shit. We hate ourselves. And the hardest part is putting your hand up and ask for help. So that's step one. Step one, if you've had the courage, it's got to be reminded that it's courageous to put your hand up and ask for help. I think that's step one. Don't go too hard too early, in my opinion. Okay, where do we start? Like, it's very overwhelming, the fitness industry. Don't go onto Instagram and start looking for or TikTok and go, hey, best program for someone to start. Like, there's so much shit on their socials that isn't 100% correct. So we've got to begin with small, manageable lifestyle changes just to get started. Okay, like something small as going for a walk or just reducing 1 meal a day to cut your calories down, increasing your water intake. Those things are really small steps to get you started on your weight loss journey with easing some of the overwhelm. What do you think, Dom?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really great question, and you summed it up nicely because that's how we get approached more often than not. It's like, hey, what the hell's going on? I have so much inflow here and I don't know where to start. Like, how do I get this ball rolling? And yeah, it's hard to really give a general statement to this because everybody has a different starting point, right? And everybody has different state of mind, body. So there's so much to take in common to give you really a solid starting point. And more often than not, it's just getting the ball rolling, like you said, and very, very small adjustments. Like, I think the worst thing you can do is throw a meal plan at somebody, a workout plan at somebody, and say, hey, hit 1,800 calories tomorrow. And they've been eating 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day, and have no clue what that means, right?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That couldn't be further from the truth. And I hope you didn't have to make an experience like that in any I don't know, plan you've tried before. But yeah, it's really important to have a look at your situation. What's your start? What are your goals? And set very small goals, right? And if it's just adjusting your water intake and having a stroll around the block for the first date, that's
Yeah.
fine, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So to keep the overwhelm down, get a plan of attack set out for you week by week. Start by small steps, as I said before. Just water intake, sleep pattern, um, going for a walk. They're probably the first things that I would attack to ease the overwhelm. But then get a plan in place. Do I need to lose 20 kilos? That's a 12-month project. Let's break it down to month by month, week by week. 1
yeah,
kilo, half a kilo a week. Let's be manageable about it. Find someone that you know that is a professional in nutrition or training that can help you and guide you with a proper meal plan. I say that because that's what we do. But also for me personally, anybody that wants to start on their journey, you have to know what you're doing. You have to be well informed, especially when it comes to nutrition. As I said before, if we go on to Dr. Google or we go onto Instagram or Facebook to look for these things, there's just so much out there. It'll say, do keto, do this, do that. And it's like, you got to find what works for you. Okay. You got to find what works for you that it's going to be sustainable, that you're actually going to want to do. That's the hard part of easing the overwhelm, finding something you actually want to do. If you find something you want to do, you'll stick to it generally. Generally, you will stick to it, especially when it comes to exercise, right? There's no point in going, hey, I'm going to go run a marathon if you don't enjoy running. Hey, I'm going to go do
exactly.
CrossFit if you don't enjoy CrossFit. You've got to
Yeah,
find something you do, you enjoy, you enjoy doing, and you'll generally stick to it. Same as with food. Same
yeah,
as
and
with food. If you
yeah,
can just cut the calories out of your favorite foods, by using reduced salt, reduced sugar, reduced whatever fat, yogurts, creams, like that's a great place to start, in my opinion.
yeah, and we have a lot of people come to us who've just made bad experiences,
Yeah,
and often not defining that starting part right and correctly and dialing that in and just giving a general starting point because your plan starts like that.
yeah,
And hey, your weight loss journey does not have to be a horrible experience, right?
correct.
It doesn't have to be. If it's done well and the people you work with care
Yeah,
and really look at where you're starting at, it doesn't have to be a whole experience. Really
yeah.
doesn't have to. Yeah.
No, that's right. And if the experience is shit, it generally means that you're not in the right program.
Yeah. Yeah.
End of story. End of story. So yeah, to ease the overwhelm on your weight loss journey, find something you enjoy doing. You'll generally stick to it. Find somebody that can give you the right guidance, a coach, a trainer, someone that knows what they're talking about. Even one more step than that, find somebody that's been in your shoes before, someone that has been overweight and depressed, and that can actually empathize with you and knows what you're going through. I think that's a big thing, especially when it comes to support. If you don't have the proper support, you won't continue on your journey, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, exactly. Well said. And
yeah,
hey, sustainability is achieved by moving the needle that little bit
yeah,
forward.
correct.
You know?
One step,
Just that little bit.
every day.
Yeah.
Good question. All right, number 2. How do I make good weight loss and fitness goals that I can actually stick to? Now, that actually works really, really well in what we're talking about. Question 1.
Yeah.
So you put your hand up. You've asked for help. Now you know you need to set some goals that you can achieve. So we use the old SMART, SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals, right? SMART goals are things that you can actually work towards. Short-term goals are the best way to start, in my opinion. If we have too many long-term goals, we start looking towards the future. And then if that's not happening quick enough, we don't get that instant gratification. So short-term
Mhm.
achievable goals is the best place to start. Like I said before, half a kilo a week, 1 extra liter of water a day, 1 less meal per day to cut your calories down, 1 more 1,000 steps per day to get your step count up. Like, they're the small goals that will really start building into big goals, right? Big goals. The next thing is, regularly assess your progress. Like, make sure you're diarizing it, tracking things. Like, if you're not tracking, you're not winning, in my opinion, especially when it comes to food or your steps, like, and your sleep patterns as well. Really start tracking what you're putting into and what you're getting out of it. Make sure your goals are balanced, especially when it comes to diet, exercise, sleep, mental wellness as well, and being flexible when the shit hits the fan and you need to deviate from those little goals, right? That's the problem with a lot of people. They set all these goals, something goes wrong in life, and then all of a sudden they fucking blow up and go, oh, fuck, I've failed now because this thing's happened. No, you got to be flexible. You got to be able to jink left, jink right, whenever the time suits you, and be able to get back on track once that roadblocks happen.
Yeah, I love that. I couldn't say it any better. Guys, we have 21 meals in a week. 21 meals. 3 meals, 7 days. We have 21 chances to make better choice. I love that so much, right? I just read that somewhere. I incorporated that. It's like, hey, okay, I fucked it up today. Well, another 3 chances tomorrow, guys. 3. That's awesome, right? So we can move the needle, and even if it's just 1 meal, fine. Okay, then we start at 1 meal and make better choices, right?
That's really good, dude. Like,
yeah.
To think about it, 21 choices per week to make a good decision on food. You fuck 1 meal up, you've got 20 other chances.
What we're talking about, guys. Right?
So is that failing?
And then we're like, oh my God, I fucked 1 meal up. Okay, let's throw the whole week out of the window. It's so silly to think about it like that, because you still have 98, 97% of the week there, right?
Yeah, 90, that's right.
96% of the week when you fuck up 1 meal. Yeah. That's it. You still have 96% to work on. Like, why would we throw everything out of the window? But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot I can add to that.
That makes total sense in the rule that we use, the 80-20 rule, right? 80% good, nutritious foods, 20% fun foods is what we call it. So if you're in the 96th percentile, you're doing pretty bloody good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I just had a whole weekend in the Keys, an island wedding. So I indulged all kinds of stuff, right? Yeah. So, and I had some alcohol for the second time since July, right? But for me, today's kind of hard. So how do I get back into it? I just do CrossFit, even though I know I'm not going to have the best performance today. But just being there and having a slight sweat will make tomorrow that much easier, rather than skipping the whole Monday, because I had a long weekend. Right, then we're at Tuesday, and maybe we'll find another excuse for Tuesday. Right, that's how it goes. Right, so hey, every day is a new chance.
Yeah, we always do. We're the biggest self-combustors, because we as soon as something goes wrong, we think it's a fucking failure, but it's not. We got to realize that like Easter happens. You know what happens to your belly when you eat chocolate in Easter? It thanks you for having something that you've been craving for a very long time. That's what happens to your stomach, right? It gives a smile and it goes, thank you for giving me that. Grateful.
Love that.
That's the only thing that happens at Easter when you have chocolate. Okay.
I had some chocolate yesterday.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too. The kids weren't looking at their eggs all the time. I would have had all the chocolate.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, make a little hide and seek. I hit some chocolates for my girlfriend, and then we had some fun with it, and it's all good, And then, okay, you had some extra calories, but hey, if you're working hard and you have your, like, without these little breaks and breathers, it becomes so much harder.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, next question. These are going really well with each other. What can I do when I really want to eat a lot, especially when I'm stressed or upset? Give us a silent hand raise out there, that those of you that actually do that when you're stressed or upset, or even bored, right? Even bored, I'll put your hands up as
Guilty.
Well. Yeah, even bored, right? Managing cravings and emotional eating is one of the hardest things to do. And that's why most of our clients come to us, right? First and foremost, we've got to identify the triggers of why we're emotionally eating. Most of the time it's from fear, it's from trauma, it's from not being in control of certain things. The one thing we can control is what we put in our mouth. So emotional eating is a control thing. Okay. You talk to any psychologist, they'll tell you the same thing. It's about control. It's the one thing we can control. If we've had trauma in our past, we've had a shit day, one thing we can control is what we put in our mouth, and it makes us feel good, especially when we're eating really high calorie foods, right? They're the tastiest things in the world. So we have control. So if you can find the triggers, before they happen, you can start using some sort of coping mechanism like walking or meditation or having nutritious food on hand that could substitute the shit you're about to shove in your mouth, like carrots and celeries and hummus and cottage cheese dips and stuff like that. Like, yes, they're not as satisfying as eating a whole block of chocolate, but it's like coping with those triggers. And don't deny yourself your favorite foods. Like have a sneaky chocolate, have a I don't know, whatever it is, corn chips and dips, whatever is your favorite thing. Like don't deny that, because that will make your emotional eating 10 times worse. I like to tell my clients is if you have something that you really enjoy every single week that you want to have, make sure you account for it in your diet. So maybe have a little less calories that day, or work a little bit harder in the gym, or do some extra steps and have that high calorie meal, because it's going to make you feel 10 times better. Go back to what I said before. The only thing that happens in your stomach when you have chocolate or those good things is it gives you a big smile and says, thank you for giving me that thing that I really, really crave. So the other thing with cravings and emotional eating is like it comes down to stress levels in your life and sleep. Like sleep deprivation is another big thing. So identifying those triggers can really, really help you combat that.
Yeah, substitution is a big one for me. I'm an absolute stress eater, and I know like bad days, work, things that I don't have planned trigger, and for me it's always sugar. So not having it in the house is a first huge big step because I mean having to drive to a supermarket makes it that much, you know harder to get that sugar into my system. And like substitution, I love, like I always have peanut butter around for my breakfast or shake. So little spoon of peanut butter in the mouth or little spoon of honey in the mouth makes huge difference for me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Initially, like that's not gonna help, but once you have that, it's like okay, the urge isn't that high anymore. So that makes a huge impact for me. But guys, don't worry out there. Everybody struggles with that, but there
Yep.
are ways around it. And I think Coach Mike just wonderfully summed that up for us.
Yep. We've got a substitution is a big thing for me as well, dude. It's like I have the protein bars that taste really naughty, but
Yeah,
they're actually really healthy
great
for you.
substitution right there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
make sure that I have the caramelly type protein bar that tastes like I'm having a caramel slice, but I'm not. Like so that's massive for me. As I said, carrots and celery in the fridge, cut up, ready to go. So I can grab a handful and like it's the process of making the good food that people get stressed about, right? It's time.
Mhm.
To make good food, it takes time. To make a good sandwich, it takes 10, 15 minutes, right? To get something out of the fridge that's nasty, it's 30 seconds, 10 seconds, even to
Well,
digest.
yeah.
So it's the time it takes to make that food. So if you can have it on hand, you can do preparation beforehand. Generally, you will survive. You'll survive really, really well. I spent
Yeah.
last night for 6 hours cooking chicken breast for the week, right? So I've got a whole tub of shredded chicken breast. That means my lunches. I've made it easy to grab packed salad, which is ready. Grab a handful of chicken breast, 200 grams. I've got eggs I've already boiled, so I can have 2 eggs, and then I've got chopped up cucumber and tomatoes ready to go. So it take me 3 minutes to make my salad.
Yeah.
Lunch is
Yeah,
done.
meal prep is huge. I just discovered a slow cooker. Huge
Dude,
slow cooker,
the
just
best.
pounds, 5 kilos of meat in there. I don't know,
Yeah,
10 pounds from my American friends,
yeah,
and the week is done.
yeah.
You're okay. It gets a little bit monotone because it's kind of the same flavor and same meat every day. But
Yeah, but
I understand
change the sauces, dude.
that's boring to you. But exactly, you could drain them in 0 calorie,
Yeah,
low sugar sauces. Just drain it.
that's
You
right.
know and meal prep is such a life hack. And guys, every time we fall into a trap like that, that's fine. Everybody has indulgence through stress and everybody gets weak. It's important to have those wins in there and at times withstand it, right? Because
Yeah,
then we build mentally. If we keep giving in, I want sugar, okay, Haribo, chocolate, boom,
yeah,
right? It's like we don't grow mentally, right? It's kind of, yeah, it's yeah. I don't want to say it's but like if we keep giving in, there's no growth in there, right?
Yeah,
So
correct. That's
each
right.
time we succeed in saying no or substituting or going for a walk or listen to some music we like or maybe go for a workout, whatever it is, read a book, we grow, and it becomes easier the next time because we have something to fall
Yeah.
back on.
That's exactly right, dude. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. So if we can substitute and figure out the triggers before they happen, most of the time we'll be able to control what we put in our mouth. But if you have some underlying issues coming from trauma, like you really got to go see someone and sort them out because it's only going to make it worse. I know
Yeah.
that because I've been there and I've done that. That's the only reason why I say that. All right, cool. How can I start working out if I've never really done it before or if moving around is hard for me? All right. So the thing with most people that are overweight, we are carrying 20, 30, 40 extra kilos, 60, 70, 80 pounds. We are carrying a lot more weight. Now, we are basically a walking gym. So the first thing someone that's overweight can do is walk. Okay, that's a form of resistance training straight away. Okay.
Super underrated.
Yeah, correct. It is. But carrying extra weight. Now, I'd love you to go to the gym, but it can be hard when you are overweight. It can be depressing. It can be emotionally challenging when you're overweight to go to the gym. So I would rather walking be the first thing that you can do because it's low impact. It's really, really low impact. Swimming's really good for low impact exercise as well. But if we are severely overweight, we've got to remember that we are already doing resistance training by walking, sitting, getting up, like all that stuff. It's resistance training. So if you are overweight and you're worried about the gym, let's just walk first. That's the first thing. Second thing is when we start getting 5, 10, 15 kilos off our body, it's a lot easier to move. That's when we can start integrating a bit more resistance training in the gym. Okay, gradual increase of duration. 2 days to start with, full body exercises to get the body moving. Like that's where I would be looking to start if I've never really done it before, if I'm overweight. Okay. If it's hard moving around, as I said to you, like that's where nutrition is going to come into play. We've got to take some weight off first, so to make it a bit easier to move around. But consider like gradual increase. You can't just go and lift for 5 days a week if you've never done it before or if you're severely overweight. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, guys,
No.
we have like the calories you burn through working out is account for like 5% of
Yep.
our daily burn
Yep.
calories burned. It's close to nothing, right? So we're not going to win the day there, and we're also not going to lose the day there. There's the things around that will make a huge, just way bigger impact. And yeah, I wouldn't, and I totally like, well, I've never been hugely overweight, so I can't say understand, but yeah, like people looking at you at the gym weirdly because you don't have the confidence yet. And yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's a big problem, obviously. So, hey, even starting at home, right? A couple bands, maybe getting one dumbbell,
Yep.
right? It just, we don't need full blown machines to make a difference. It can be small steps at home, and nutrition will have a way bigger impact on your overall journey at the start, the middle, the end, wherever you are.
Yep.
Than training can ever have. Now we recommend to train, but yeah, if you have no experience and you're really worried about that environment, hey, get out of the door, walk around the block,
Yep.
start with some steps. And hey, if you're really serious about your goal, start with your nutrition. Hey, we're back to 21 meals a week. Hey.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly right. 100%. If we have a target of 10,000 steps a day and we can't move as much, drop it down to 5, drop it down to 4. Because most of the time, people that are overweight aren't walking enough. So if you're only averaging 2,000 steps a day, get to 3. Let's start with a little consistency and progress rather than worrying about intensity and duration. because when we're starting off and we're overweight, we just got to make sure we're getting into momentum. So nutrition by far would be the superhero for me in terms of incorporating the ability to make you move more by losing weight.
Well said. And does super fit, or if you're weight, walking has just as much, if not even more, impact than running. Right?
Yep.
There's no, oh, I'm burning more calories when I'm running. No, that's not how it works. Okay,
Exactly
so
right.
walking is just fine, and if you can make it a half an hour, 2 times a day, around the block or around the park, we are doing great things.
Correct. 100%.
Yeah?
And this ties in really, really well with our last question for today is, what should I do if I mess up and get off track with my weight loss? Give up and walk away. That's what I would say. I think you topped it off nicely. The 21's actually the really good analogy for this, for our program too. But in terms of handling setbacks, realizing that you are going to fuck up is number one. Okay, it's a normal part of the journey, and it's an opportunity for learning and growth. Okay, every setback is an opportunity for learning and growth. So recognize that from the start. If we've got 7 days of the week, most of the time we're going to fuck up on one, but that's not going to fuck up your whole week. That's just a blip in the radar. So, yeah, definitely number one, recognizing that they are a normal part of life. Second is avoid the all or nothing approach. Avoid the all or nothing approach. A slip up doesn't mean failure. It's temporary. It's temporary. The old analogy of, oh, you've fallen off the wagon. Dude, you can get back up and grab the reins and whip the fucking horse and start moving again. Just because you've fallen off the wagon doesn't mean you can't get back up. It just doesn't mean you can't get back up. And if the goals are too hard, maybe revisit your goals and adjust them for a bit more realistic, achievable goals. Like maybe your goals are too big. Maybe you're planning, like everybody looks at, I have to lose 40 kilos, but nobody looks at, hey, I just need to lose 1 kilo to start, and then 2 kilos, and then 3 kilos, and then 4 kilos. So make the goals a bit more manageable. And I think the secret sauce to this whole thing on weight loss or weight training is support. Support is the heart and soul of any transformation. It by far is the heart and soul. It's the number one. Fuck nutrition off. Number one to me is support. If you do not have support around you when you're down in the dumps or you're riding the high, for people to pat you on the back and say good job, or someone to pick you up and say, hey dude, like that's just a temporary. If you don't have support, you will not have a good transformation, in my opinion.
Yeah. Or imagine the spouse who always has chocolate and sugar in the cupboard and you're trying not to eat it.
Yeah.
Not only emotional, just that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, nicely summed up. I just said it. I mean, I had a wedding weekend, beautiful wedding weekend. A lot of indulgence, things that I don't usually eat. And that's fine, having that time out. Now, the question is, when do you get back on track, right? For me, it's the first day back of traveling. Yeah, I will go to the gym. I probably won't have that much of a productive workout tonight, but I'm still going to go, and I'm still going to get the juices flowing. So I'm going to probably be full back tomorrow, rather than just completely shutting down today. I'm not getting anything done towards my goals, and procrastinating and making it more difficult because I've kind of tensed up, right? I gave me that extra day and didn't do anything. Hey, chop it down, make it easier. Start with a healthy meal, start with maybe just going grocery shopping, get all the healthy things you need to be straight back on track tomorrow. Start small. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to have the perfect day just because you had an off day. Try with a meal, right? Something.
I like this last comment from Monica. It says, if you ever get the chance to read the book Like Water for Chocolate, it describes not only emotional eating but emotional cooking. How it tastes is the reflection of what and how you eat. I love that. I get that, because if you feel like shit, generally you turn to shit food. If you feel really good about yourself, generally you are going to be able to cook something that's nutritious and healthy, or that satisfies what you're after. So that's great advice, Monica. I'm actually going to look into that because it seems like something that
I haven't heard of that yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write that down too.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. It definitely
Thank you
does.
for sharing.
Yeah, really, it's really powerful. Like I can feel it now. Like if I feel like I want to cook a good meal and I'm feeling really good, I will put my heart and soul into making sure that tastes good,
Oh yeah,
looks good. But if I feel like
absolutely.
shit,
Yeah,
like I'm flat
I feel
today,
that.
yep, I'm like
Mhm.
I couldn't be stuffed making breakfast, but I will. I'll do the right thing. But I will go to something quick and easy. That's for sure. So
True. Small good decisions become so much easier when you're in a good
100%.
headspace, right? That's why people overlook, right, the mind work you have to go through in order to achieve your goals,
Yeah.
right? It's not about eating and going to gym most of the time.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's the battle in the head. It's the how do I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning when it's freezing cold in winter? It's the I had a big session yesterday. I really don't feel like going to the gym today. I
Yeah.
do need to get this thing done because it's part of my program, but fuck it, I'm going to roll over and go back to sleep. It's the how can I fucking spend 2 hours meal prepping on Sunday when I would rather have that time just sitting on the lounge watching TV because I feel like shit. It's the oh fuck, I don't want to progressively overload in the gym because it's going to make me feel super, super tired tomorrow. So maybe I'll just go easy on myself. It's the I don't want to fucking hit my 4 liters of water today because I have to get up and pee so many times and I really don't feel like doing that. Like all that stuff is the battle. That's the everyday battle. That's the fucking little things that are the roadblocks that appear. If we can navigate those every single day and realize that that is just part of the journey, it's a small blip in the radar that we can make a decision to change. It'll be a much better future for you when it comes to your program.
Hey, that's a little goodie from us to you guys for free.
All right, Dom. Thanks for joining us
Well
today,
said,
guys.
man.
Thank you
Well
to everyone
said.
else. Yeah, that was really good. I like these type of quick fire stuff, especially when it comes to basics. I think that's something that's really overlooked. The problem we've got with our society today is there's so much bogus information out there that you can just go and look up and feel like you're doing the right thing, but it's not suiting you. So find someone that knows what they're doing, get that sort of advice from them, get yourself some really easy, manageable goals to start with. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Realize that setbacks are part of the journey, that they're the lessons that you're going to find to make you grow. And just above all, fucking enjoy what you're doing. Like Mike Tyson said, do the shit you hate doing, but do it like you love it. So do it with a smile on your face and it will be better for you.
Bang on, guys.
Sweet.
Leave us questions in the comments for next week.
We'll get back to them.
Have a successful week.
See you guys.